What is or what was the best Final Fantasy and why? This is from XG400. What up, Xavier?
They all
Garcia?
trash, so.
Oh, hold on, let me throw this at him.
I've never played a Final Fantasy, so I will see myself out of this conversation. That's
Well,
up
I
to
need
you.
to understand. You've never played it.
No.
You never
Sat down and
No.
said, "Damn, I'm missing out. I'm a bum ass right now."
I watched my friend play the
He
entirety
was
of
washing his friend.
I watched
My man was sweeping ice, was washing his friend. He didn't want to play no Final Fantasy. He said, "Yo, let's go take a shower together." My man wanted to wash his friend instead.
I watched my friend play the entirety of Final Fantasy 7. And that's all I needed.
Trying to make me choke on my water.
That's all I needed. I watched someone play Final Fantasy 7, the entirety of it.
And then after you guys were done,
That's
you
what
went
I
up to
needed.
sweep some ice man, outside, man.
So this is you guys right here.
What is the best Final Fantasy?
My favorite is 7, but objectively speaking, I think the best one
Careful.
is 9.
Ooh, why do you say
Best-
that?
Best of
Nope.
both worlds. There's like nothing wrong with it. It's got the old school alongside with the new school. It's like new school is like Final Fantasy 7 and onwards. And it was just there's really like I said, it's as near perfect as a Final Fantasy can get. And it's extremely underrated and underappreciated.
I've never played 9, man. I always feel bad about that.
It's got the card game aspect to it.
What card game is it?
It's similar to the one in Final Fantasy 8,
Triple Triad?
but instead of
Don't
characters,
tell me that, because I'll play that for days.
yeah, and it's got a lot more cards because it's not just characters. It's like monsters and everything like that.
Interesting.
So it's almost like you gotta like Yu-Gi-Oh or something. Just
Oh.
collect mad cards.
I always see that on sale for PS1. I think about getting it for my Vita. But I don't know. I just think about so many other Final Fantasy games like that I'd rather play, or at least like play again or try. And I'm just like, I'll get to it eventually. I know I will, because I love Final Fantasy. But
Which one is your favorite?
my personal favorite is 8. My personal favorite is 8. That's the one, like, that's the first one I played. And I think, honestly, that's pretty much the only reason why, because I got to know it so well. Not only that, when it came on the PS1 graphically, when that game, like, demo, I remember getting the demo disc for that game. It looked incredible, man. Like,
Yeah,
incredible.
The FMVs were pretty cool. I remember when I first saw it in it was software, etc.
Damn, it's old school. Software ETC.
Software, etc.
Right.
Which I think is what the GameStop is now.
Yes,
that
yes.
used to be software,
It
etc.
was,
yeah.
And they had a TV up on the corner, and they showed us the FMV, and I was like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
And it said Final Fantasy at the end. I was like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah. And speaking of old school, that was back when Square Enix was Squaresoft.
Yeah, SquareSoft.
And you could argue that those were the glory days, man, the heydays. But I think the reason why I like it is just because, as I said, graphically, like, it blew my mind as a kid. It was also because 7, like, in the battle mode, it looked great, but they still had, like, the chibi characters, and it
Yeah.
looked terrible, like, when you were walking around the world. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is great. But, Final Fantasy VIII,
true.
for me, just the cinematic aspect of it was amazing. And the fact that, like, every scene in that game, I don't know if you noticed, there's something moving, like, in the scenery, like a light flickering, like an escalator, like, continually going up. And it was like a step up. It actually felt like I was playing, like, a next-gen game
It was
when I played that.
It was like the most Metal Gear Solid of all the Final Fantasies. It had mad cutscenes.
It did have cutscenes.
Even when you would summon the monster, like the Guardian GFs.
Yeah.
Like some of them. There was one in particular that was mad long. I forgot which one it was.
Which one?
I forgot which one it was. It was one of the later
I
ones.
was one it was.
There was one that was
what did it look
extremely
like?
long to summon.
Because there's a lot of them that are long. Like, Leviathan was long.
That one was long.
I mean, Leviathan was also kind of long. 'Cause it was a snake, kind of.
I think it was Bahamut.
Brothers? Bahamut. That might be a long one. Anyway,
That's when he flies out into space. He's like flying around. He looks at the Earth. He launches like a.
I actually think that might be Bahamut. I can't remember, though.
I know you just sit there. You just press the X button the entire time.
Yeah. But yeah, if I had to say which one was objectively the best, I feel like most people want to say 7, but I genuinely think that most Final Fantasy gamers, people who play like from the beginning to end, actually say that 6 is the best one.
Yeah,
Because it
think
has the best like overall story, and it fleshes out the side characters pretty well.
I think if you're over 30, you say 4, 5, or 6, and if
Yeah.
you're younger than 30, you're probably gonna say like 7, 8, or so.
Even a 10. I could even see people saying 10.
I like 10. It's got its problems though. but I like
Does.
10.
Does, including that whack ass laughing scene.
Amazingly average gameplay of Anthony said 7 or tactics.
There's a.